Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time visiting my channel, I want to welcome you. And if you're the regular visitor, I also want to thank you for continuous supporting. My name is Wei-Jen and I am a commercial and film actress in California. I've been in this industry for almost 10 years. And so I've been doing this as a freelancer. I am this mindset of I am my own boss. So today, the video that I want to share with you guys is that this one key point that will get you to find a talent agent that is suitable for you, both you and the agent, you as a artist, as a talent, and then your talent agent. So I want to start with sharing with you my experience, how I got my agent, and then also not only got my agent, but also I got my agent who we both of us work with each other, very serving each other well on the business aspects in the long run. And I hope by the end of this video you will get some inspiration and insight out of this video, and then start to implement in your career if you are serious about your acting journey, your acting career. So I remember that my current agent is my second talent agent ever in my life. And then maybe like probably back to 7 years ago, I had my first talent agent um, in California, in Bay Area, Northern California, Bay Area. And I remember that at that time, I just graduated from art school, and I got my first talent agent, and I was so excited. But I was still quite new in the real professional industry as an actor. So I walked into the office. I got invited to have an in-person interview with my first agent. And then don't get me wrong, she's a lovely, very popular, well-known local agent, who has been in this local industry, local entertainment filming industry for so many years. Um, and that's also another thing that why I wanted to work with her. I didn't have any hesitation to sign a contract with her. So I walked into the office, met her for the first time, had a nice handshake, and then I sat down in her office. She asked me to give her a monologue, and I definitely, of course, I prepared for a monologue. So I presented that monologue to her, and then she gave me a contract. I reviewed it. I signed it right there during the day, during our interview. And then ever since then, from there, for a whole year from that day of the interview, I got zero audition and I got zero booking. So, it's not that time, from that experience, I learned that it's less about my agent. It does not mean that she's a bad person or she's a lazy agent. No. I think the more important than all this kind of like thoughts, the lesson for me that's important for me is that I needed to do some more homework and research, including, make a few calls, asking around, who were represented by her, right? And then what is the working style, communication style, interaction frequency looks like working with this particular agent, because every agent, every agency has a different style to work with talents. And so for sure, I don't think I ask around, people, colleagues, or teachers, right, who worked with her. And then also, I don't remember I went to her website and then look at how many other talents are similar like me, young, Asian, immigrant, bilingual actor, right? I don't think I did that homework either. So And the third thing that I don't think I did, and I needed to do, and I learned from that experience, is that ask questions. Ask questions that is appropriate, that is a legitimate question, right? Ask the valid question, ask good question, quality questions, such as, during the interview. And then good questions or quality questions can sound like, hey, I just want to, like, ask you, is it okay that we end our contract or we end our professional relationship, and I can go out to find some other agents, if, within the 8 months or a year or 6 months, right? If I don't get any auditions from you, or I don't get any bookings from you, that does not necessarily means that they are bad agents again. It may just means that, this may not be a good compatible fit for each other. And so that was the mindset I also had at that time, is that as a newbie actor, or an actor who just graduated from acting school, I was so afraid of asking questions, because my mind has already put them on the pedestal, right? They are above me and I'm this little fan. So if I treat them like a celebrity and then I'm the fan, then they just, automatically, subconsciously treat me as a fan, right? But actually, what I learned from that experience is that, and along with my, through time, as I continue working in this industry, is that, agent and then talent should be on the equal balance, power dynamic, power position, should be equal. They work for you and I work for them. So it's a two-way street. And if you can think from a different angle, such as dating, right? Like two people, they decided to meet up at a coffee shop. It's because that they at first they, for in the beginning, for sure they have some level of interest, in getting to know each other, right? And then, so they decided to make an effort, spend time, make a plan to meet each other, just to see if they have a great chemistry, and then also their lifestyle are compatible, right? So if you use that analogy and then that concept into the relationship between talent and agent, right? It's the same thing. Is that, is your mission, your desire, is something that they can support you, and also, are you also making an effort, to make them look good, to make them work for you and then bring you business to, bring you gigs to? And that can include that, are you continuously, regularly update your profile, or are you do you have a good work ethic when they book you to for a gig and you go on set? Do you have a good work ethic, right? And do you always turn the audition self tape on time, or even like before the deadline, early, right? So those like little things, detail things, right? um it's, you're making the effort to make them look good and then make them, work for you to easily, effortlessly, and conveniently, obviously. So all these things, I think, we as an actor or talent should ask and should put out there from the get-go during our interview. And then the other thing that I also learned from my experience is that whenever I receive a contract, always, kindly request, let them know, ask, like, can I take the contract home with me, and then, read through it, and then, within a certain amount of date, and then, I will respond it. I probably will sign the contract, or, I may want to go with a different direction, right? Instead, I would know, it was my first agent. I was so excited. So I just signed it quickly during the interview. I didn't even bother to go through all the contract detail. So that's the outcome that I received. So when I got to my second, agent, I learned that always take my time. Don't let anything rush me to go through the contracting. And if I have any questions, right, always bring it up during the interview or after I review the contract. Don't repress all the feelings or my concerns, especially if something I feel intuitively, I feel something's off. Don't repress those things, because those things most of the time they're telling you that you need to be aware, you need to ask more questions for clarification, right? So none of you will be in a confusing mode if something goes wrong or something comes up. So now so those are the things that I want to share with you, the few key points, lessons that I learned from my first time experience of having an agent, is to don't let anything rushes me, including reviewing a contract. Always ask questions, always express your needs and your desire, if they're legit, right? You don't want to like bother them so much if questions that you can easily go online or their website find your answer, right? So do your homework, and do your homework, ask around if there are other talents, colleagues that who are represented by the agent that you are about to interview. And then the most important is that go to their website and then see if there are a lot of other talents that just like you that they represent, because you don't want to put yourself in the same pool and then generate a big amount of competitor who is competing the role that the same agency has more than one or five or two talent that who just look like you or your type, your style. So you also don't want to do that. And yes, ask question, legitimate, good quality questions. um, and then just express this is your desire, you have your preference, you prefer to do more theater work. Do they have that connection to get you more theater audition, theater work? Or express yourself if you want to do more print work, modeling work, or TV commercial work, right? We all have different preference and different desire. And I think the most important thing is to have your agent know this is your desire and in the direction that you want to go forward. You want to move forward with them, so they can have an opportunity to imagine fitting themselves into that direction with you. And if they don't, if they're not in charge in that particular area, such as theater work or print work or modeling area, right, then it's also you're helping them to you're helping them to express, to be transparent with you by telling you that they don't represent talents who wants to do XYZ, that type of work. And then there's nothing wrong with that either. Okay, so that's the first part that I want to talk about. The key lessons that I learned from my first experience. Don't never being rushed to get an agent. That's the conclusion. Never be rushed to get an agent. And keep in mind, even if you have an agent, right? In the end, you are still your own agent. You still have to maintain yourself the same level of being proactive, right? Uh, I've seen a lot of some actors, they think that they have this mentality that they think once I get my agent, I don't have to go out hustle around and then get myself gigs. No, that's not true. So you wanna avoid that kind of mindset. You still have to be your own boss, be your own CEO, be your own agent, because think about it, agent, they also have other talents. You are not the only talents for them. So you have to stay hustle and then stay proactive. Now, the second part of this video that I want to share with you is that after I had my first experience of having my first agent, right, with all those like key lessons that I just shared with you guys, I continue move forward with myself, being my own agent. I didn't have agents for like maybe 6 years or 5 years, up until like last 2 years during the pandemic. As usual, I went on set, I got booked, and it was a project that I got myself. Without anybody's help, I went through audition, the legitimate process, and then I got booked. And then when the shoot day came, right, I was still, doing what I'm supposed to do, doing my job, be professional, get there on time, and then hair makeup was ready. So at the end, of the shoot day, when we wrapped, I just, professionally handed my business card to the producer of that production. And then, I didn't expect anything. I also, wasn't looking for anything like agent, right? Especially I normally don't tell people that I'm looking for agent, on a like a on a production, on doing the project that we are shooting. um so not having any attachment, I wasn't desperate, wasn't like needy at all. It was just purely professional. I did my job, and I did my job well and professionally, and then when it's time, then I left. So after a couple of weeks passed by, I got a phone call or a text message, I can't remember, from the producer I worked with on that project. And then she texted me. She said that I refer you to my agent, and she probably will reach out to you within the next few weeks. So I was like kind of like surprised. So with all the few key lessons that I learned from my first agent, right? I started to do my homework before my current agent, this new agent, reached out to me. So I started to like go to their website, see if there are many Asian young, bilingual actors on their roster. I also started to ask around my colleagues who are represented by them, what is the working style, communication style looks like with this particular agent. And so I did all the research and the homework that I could before we met. And then when the day that we were having an interview, again, I took my lesson, implemented the lesson that I learned. And so I asked the agent, can I take this, contract with me home to read through it, and then reach out to you, get back to you after a few days. And of course, she was like, very agreeable and then very welcoming. And so that's a good sign. And then I definitely also expressed my desire that after we had an interview, and then I expressed it to her, reach out to her again. I said, if I don't get any audition from you within the next 8 months from the day that I signed a contract with you, is that okay that I move on to find someone else to represent me? And fortunately, my agent was also, very understandable and very supportive. That she, said that's not a big issue for her, and she was very supportive of me to do that. So, it's a lot of the green lights that, started to show it to me. And then I finally signed the contract. And once I signed the contract, again, like I just shared with you guys, that I, didn't, I wasn't lazy at all. I was still, looking for projects myself. I submitted myself every single day whenever I can, when the project allows me to submit myself without going through the agent. And so that's one part. And then the second part is that once I signed with my current agent, and she does like really, stay proactive just the way that I am too. And so therefore, I feel like, I think I got a pretty much a good amount of work from her. And we have a ever since that we've been always having a good professional relationship. We both, making an effort to maintain and then continue to build this professional relationship. And I don't think that I, you know, ever like done something like wrong that makes her look so bad. And if I did, right, I take myself responsibility, make amends, and then correct the things that I needed to correct, so I can, improve and avoid the similar mistake or the same mistake happened in our working relationship. So that is something that I want to share with you guys. The in conclusion, the key point is that when you decided that you're going to have someone to represent you as your agent, you have to and must be ready to to handle whatever comes to you, whether it's interview, someone reaches out to you, right? Instead of getting ready, because when you have someone who's a good fit to you, right, as your agent, and you are not ready, right, whether it's your availability or your financial financial management, if you're not ready, or if your material is not ready, let's say you don't have a headshot, or your headshot is so old, or if you don't have a complete demo reel, right? Even a good agent comes to knock your door and you are not ready and you need to get yourself ready, you know there's always a risk that the good chance may slip away from you. So be ready, because you never know what's going to happen. Like, taking my example of what I just shared with you guys. I wasn't expecting anybody, a good agent will knock my door. I was just, purely show up at the film set and then ready to roll the camera, ready to work in front of the camera. Just that little business card that I handed to the producer at the end of the shoot day, right? I wasn't like, needy or desperate or asking her to get me an agent. Nothing like that. I never expected anything of that happened. So that is the key point I think I've been trying to like share with you guys, is to be ready and then be at the moment, doing the job that I'm supposed to do, or doing the job that you need to do, to be professional. And then, if you have like an extra time, continuously work on yourself, continuously be your own boss. If you need to get your headshot or your demo reels done, right, get them done when you can, right? And then do some more research when someone knocks your door and then says, I'm interested in working with you, right? And then the most important thing is that have this mindset of your agent is not your boss. You are your own boss, and you both should be on an equal position, if that makes sense. And then also, if you have any concern, any questions, or any confusion you need to like clarify, and those questions that are legit, always express in appropriate moment, in appropriate manner. Yeah, and then I think that's these are the most important thing that I want to share with you guys today. Last but not least, because I have witnessed some fellows, some colleagues who got their first agent, and then they were so excited about working with an agent and having an agent, right? And then, but so they didn't do their homework. And then 8 months, 6 months down the road, and then they shared with me that they feel a sense of stuck because they didn't do their homework. They didn't properly express their concern and then ask legitimate good questions to their agent, and so they signed a contract. And because I keep hearing all this the similar issues that happening with the actor, so I decided that I'm going to have a free give back to the community workshop, and then the subject will be centering around how to find the right agent that is benefit and working for both parties. And so I invited a special speaker who's an agent based in Northern California to join this free workshop. And so this workshop will be hosting on August 27th, Tuesday, starting at 6:30 p.m. on Zoom. And if you guys, interested in getting to know like how to vet potential right fit agent that works for you, and then also you're right fit to them too. Feel free to join the workshop, and you can find more information in down below in the description box, and then I will post it the date and then also the contact information, so you can send me an email and I will send you that Zoom link, and then you'll be signed up this free workshop, and you can also bring legitimate good question into the workshop, because she's a wonderful good, has a good reputation in Northern California. So I'm just here to help you guys by sharing my experience with you, and then also create a workshop for more actors to get some insights of how to vet the right agent. So you don't need to feel that sense of stuck or feel like nothing is happening, right? Instead, you can create and cultivate a good and maintain a long-term good professional relationship with your agent. And I hope in the end this video is benefit to you. If you like, feel free to like my video and then share this video with other people. Yeah, so the event is going to be on August 27th, Tuesday evening, starting at 6:30 p.m. and at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time zone. And if you want to sign up, feel free to email. I will put my email address in the description box, and it's completely free. I just want to help actors, and I just want to help by sharing my experience, strength, and hope with you guys. And of course, you are most welcome to take what you like and leave the rest. Thank you again for watching my video, and I wish you have a fabulous day.